Good morning. Oh, Indigo, I just sent you the invite. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning live where we talk. You are a badass at making money. I do not do free yes, no questions in the morning. I don't do tarot readings in the morning. This is purely a way for you to change your mindset. We take what we learn, we apply it. Most of these chapters do have homework, so to speak. I do upload those to both my Facebook group and my Discord, all of which are in my profile. Good morning, good morning. So if you're interested, stick around. It's a great way to start off your day. Also, I have recently opened up applications for my Manifest Your Soulmate course. It starts next month on January 2nd with our kickoff call. All that information, again, is also in my profile. If you are interested, if you're struggling with finding a healthy, stable relationship, that's the course for you. I did it so well, I can't remember the first 5 answers. I don't know if you saw it in Discord, Indigo, but I would like to set up like a weekly rewind call outside of TikTok. And then just to kind of go over the homework. I don't do tarot readings in the morning, sweetheart. That's exclusively on my evening streams. What's my thing say? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I was in there, but I didn't see anything. I think Brittany and April still have to get Discord up on their phone because, we all have space issues on our phones. So, but yeah, I figured that would be a good thing because then it keeps us accountable for doing the homework and we can kind of share each other's what we've discovered too. Because I did mine on Thursday. I did most of it then. I think, except for my Dear Money. I didn't write my letter. Which I need to, because I need to do a series on that. I want to do a series of people's letters to money. So, for those who are new in here with what we do in the mornings, we start off with a 5-minute meditation just to kind of clear our heads and, get that fresh grounding so we can receive all the information we are about to intake. You slacked on doing the Dear Money letter. It's difficult because it really does show you where you struggle. So, yeah. So we do our 5-minute meditation, and then we get into the chapter. We can we'll do some interaction in between. Good morning, Amanda. How are you, baby? And then we just kind of chit chat for a little bit. And then I take these lives and I upload them to my YouTube channel. So if you miss a day, don't worry. Again, that's also in my profile. You can catch up on all of them. We're only on day 5 of this new book. I have everything from the original book already uploaded. I just didn't want to live bomb money. I feel it. Oh, love bomb money. I feel that. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thanks for the shares and the gifts. You guys are amazing. Every little bit helps. I love doing these morning lives. I really do. And I appreciate the people that come in here and stick around and, interact in the morning. Like I said, it's a great way to start off your morning. It gets you in a better mindset. It gets you thinking differently instead of being stuck in that rut. So it is always a great way to start your day. And they suggest that you do 20 minutes of personal development each and every day. I think it's 20 minutes. And we're usually on here for like an hour. So, and you got your people with you. I'll give it a few minutes. I know Lindsay's awake, so she should be in soon. She's probably getting her kids ready. Hello, hello. How are you, Brielle? I guess we weren't the only ones who got kind of bombed last night by the trolls. Good morning, Elma. How many minutes of call-outs, right? Right. How quickly will I be called out today? Exactly. So I think, let's see, after we finish this chapter today, I think we might be halfway through it. How many chapters are there? Let's go with that. "13 chapters. You're very fine. Good. We love that on a Monday morning. Ooh, Brittany's awake too. I don't know if she'll be in, but she's awake. I don't do yes-nos in the morning. I don't do tarot readings in the morning. This is purely for our own personal development and changing our mindset with money right now. That's what we're focusing on. You're welcome to stay, learn a thing or two maybe, or not. But it is a safe space to kind of just listen and take some knowledge with you. Good morning, Danny. So, but yeah, I guess last night we weren't the only ones who were being trolled. I guess they were out. So we're on chapter 5 today. And, and there's 13 chapters. And we try to do, how many more? 8 chapters, right? So yeah, 8 chapters left. So that's how many times we're going to get called out more. So, geez, at the rate we're going, we'll be done with this next week. Right in time for Christmas. I'm not ready for that either. I'm not ready for that either. I haven't bought one gift yet. Talk about procrastination. Is everybody else ready for Christmas? I really need to get on the ball. My sister-in-law, she starts like in July, and she was done in like September or October. You got all your gifts for yourself? Aw. Why do I have the calculator up and not the clock? You're not ready either. I'm definitely not ready. But I will be. Everything will come together. There is a plan. There's a plan for this too, so I become better manageable of my time and money. That's been my my theme for 2022. I have half of my boyfriends and his son is done. Need one for my parents and sister. You're so much further ahead than I am. So much further ahead. I will be that person who is probably shopping, the 23rd and 24th. Have I mentioned I don't like crowds? And his parents. Good morning, Lindsay. Yeah, I have everybody. I have my kids. I have my father. Although my father's not going to be here for Christmas, so I can probably put his off a little bit. I have my husband's stepdad, his mom, his sister. Because we don't buy we buy and we do a name pull for the kids because there's so many grandchildren. So I have to buy 2 gifts for my nieces. I don't buy for any of the aunts except for one because she doesn't have any children. So, and she of course has like too many kids to purchase for. So we make sure we all buy her something. You got some, not a lot. All current friends have what they want or need. Just take the time to be present with them. That's beautiful. I love that. Exclusive paid for Disney World trip for the 12 of us. Wow. Hey Snorlax, how you doing? Good morning. It's really morning where you are. You working nights? Good morning. Oh no. Leg cramps are the worst to wake up to. A big old Charlie horse. Oof. Flight, resort, parks, pictures are paid for. Wow. That's amazing, Danny. I love that for you. It's an experience for sure. All right, guys. So those who are new joining us in the morning lives, just so you know, we start off the live with a 5-minute meditation just to kind of release all the stress, clear our heads so we can receive the information that we are about to listen to. Yeah, it's 5. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, holy crap, you're up early. So, and then we get into the chapter on you are a badass at making money. We're on chapter 5. And if you haven't joined my morning lives, that's okay. You can still stick around. You're going to learn something. And if you want to catch up, I have uploaded all the videos from the past 4 chapters and from the previous book. They are on my YouTube, so you can check it out there. So that we can get all caught up. Yeah, I got invited after dating him, maybe not even a month. Hope that means something. Aww, that's sweet. That's fun. Of course, it can mean whatever you want it to mean, right? It can mean nothing or it can mean everything. So, it's up to you. All right, guys. I'm going to try to sleep a little more, seeing you were on. Wanted to say hi. I appreciate you stopping in. And I would go back to sleep too if I were you. So, it was great to see you, Snorlax. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, guys, I'm going to start the 5-minute timer. If one of my mods can just put the comment up that we are going into the 5-minute meditation. There's Brittany. And we'll get that started. Thanks, buddy. So just take this time to focus on your breathing. Close your eyes, focus on your breathing. There's going to be thoughts that want to come in and want to grab your attention. Just let them flow through. Let them flow through. Focus back on the breathing. Oh, wow. That's incredible, Danny. Oh, I love that for you. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start the timer. And we will... Oh, before I do that, let me silence my phone. So you guys don't get, like, weird noises if I get a phone call. All right, guys. Let's get going. Okay, time is up. That was our 5 minutes. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. Welcome in, welcome in. For those who are not familiar with my morning lives, this is where we start off our days with snooze. Snooze. We start off our day with our personal development. Right now we are talking, you are a badass at making money. And so we go through a chapter each day, and we apply what we learned. There's usually homework. She has suggestions on what to do. I upload those to both my Facebook and my Discord. Information's in my profile. I upload these lives each day to YouTube as well. So if you miss a day, you don't have to worry. You can catch up. So that's how we kind of run it here. I read through the chapter. We interact in between because we're like, oh, well, wow, we're getting called out first thing in the morning. We enjoy it sometimes. But so, it's 8:30 already. All right. So again, we are on chapter 5 of this. Almost halfway through. There's 13 chapters. And this one is called The Hollering of Your Heart. I feel an early call out. All right. I wrote the first You Are a Badass book while I was staying on a farm in Northern California. The deal was I could have the entire 17-acre paradise, complete with a beautiful sunny house and views in all directions, if I took care of their horses and 2 goats. I'm a little scared of horses, and don't you need a special license or degree or something to take care of an animal that large? I knew nothing about goats other than that they can chew through cans. But I love the place and I love the animals, and staying there ended up being one of my favorite chunks of time ever. Thanks, Brittany. I'd spend my days sitting on the couch in front of the giant windows, typing on my laptop while gazing out at Diablo Mountain. The goats spent their days sitting on the porch in front of the sliding glass door, gazing at me, waiting in vain to be let inside. Sometimes they'd get up and chase the horse around the yard, or run full speed into each other's heads. But for the most part, they just glare at me with their weird goatly eyes, aggressively chewing their cud, insulted and unamused by their outdoor-only status. Every so often, when they just could not believe I still hadn't gotten up and invited them in, they'd take matters into their own hands and hurl themselves against the glass or get up on their hind legs and pound it with their hooves. One day, while I was off in town shopping, I returned home about 5 hours to find the horse standing in the driveway by himself. Although he was truly one of the biggest horses I'd ever laid eyes on, he was also one of the neediest and was rarely, if ever, more than 20 feet away from his goats. "What are you doing out here all by yourself?" I asked him as I got out of the car, pausing to listen to the familiar sound of goat hooves banging against a glass door. My first thought was how strange it was that they'd be trying to get in when I wasn't home. They were equally as needy about me as the horse was about them. My second thought was, holy fucking shit. I realized they weren't trying to get in. They were trying to get out. In a slow motion sprint... Sorry. In a slow motion sprint, I ran up to the house, let myself in, shoved the goats out, and did my best to shut and barricade the newly compromised door. I then proceeded to stand frozen, with my hands over my mouth, uttering, "Oh my God," over and over and over, as I took in the sight before me. It was like witnessing the aftermath of a particularly debauched fraternity party full of amateur drinkers. Epic, shocking, and so staggeringly horrible you can't help but look, even though you really don't want to. She sent her picture. Exactly, that was perfect. The goats had finally made the impossible dream come true by knocking the sliding glass door off its track and bursting through the screen, which subsequently closed on its own, trapping them inside with nothing else to do but completely destroy the place for 5 delirious hours. Their handiwork involved knocking over every single potted plant, smashing the planters and kicking dirt, planter and plant debris in an impressively wild radius. They pulled the dish towel off the counter, and I had glasses drying on, thereby shattering glass all over the place. Then there was pooping and pissing party, which took place on every single piece of furniture and in every imaginable corner. They excreted their excrement on my bed, the white couch, the coffee table, the dining room table, the bench in the hallway, and inside my shower. There was such an incredible volume of urine. In fact, I imagined that they somehow must have waved the horse inside so he could get in on the fun too. For their grand finale, they hopped up and down and knocked nearly every single piece of artwork off the wall onto the floor. I mean, who thinks to do that? My first reaction was shock, but I have to admit after that I was pretty damn impressed. They really did a great, thorough job. We could all learn a thing or two from their tireless commitments to detail and the pride they so clearly took in their work. We're happy I didn't walk into the goat house. I know, like, my heart, like, I feel like it's just like, oh my God. Here are the secrets to success that the goats modeled beautifully. Chewing, kicking, stampeding through any obstacle in their paths. Poo-pooing the rules. Dreaming. Bigger than goats are told they can dream. Never taking no for an answer. Following their hearts no matter what. Not stopping until they reach their goal. I know. Me too. I'm like, oh man. The smell. White couches on the bed. Like all I'm going to is, wow, that's a lot of money to replace a bed, the couches, the artwork, all of that, and the smell alone. I used to want a baby goat. Do you want a baby goat now? It opened up a whole new world for them, literally and metaphorically. They transcended their outdoor farm animal status and became creatures who experienced 1,000 thread count sheets. They were forever changed. What this meant was that they became colossal pains in the ass, and more destructive than any goat has ever been. Which is saying something. Drunk with power on their victory and newfound mindset that anything they desire is possible. I had goats and they are extremely inventive and playful. They broke through the gate and started terrorizing the neighborhood on a regular basis. They began jumping all over people's parked cars, tried to break in and enter any sliding glass door they happened upon, tore down bird feeders, obliterated gardens, and chased after small dogs. All the while, manically screaming, yelling, laughing, and pissing everywhere they pleased, like a pair of carousing psychopaths. I quickly got the gate fixed, patched all the holes in the fence surrounding the property, and covered my car and giant slabs of plywood to keep them off of it. But the horse and I never looked at the goats the same way again. We were both kinda in awe. Replace the donkey. Aww. Doubts, fears, and other people's rules are no match for a heart on a mission. In order to become rich, you must connect to your desires for money with the passion of a goat who wants in off the porch. And the key to doing this is by getting clear on the specifics around your why. Why do you desire this money? Get a goat and name him Casper. Phew, excuse me. What will you spend it on? How will it feel to make it, spend it, and bask in the manifestation of your ever so important why? Just wanting to get rich isn't going to cut it. There has to be meaning behind the money, or else the second it gets hard or expensive or someone tells you you're high, if you think you can get rich by selling your homemade ice cream, you'll slink back to your goat's pen of complacency instead of doing whatever it takes. Thank you. You desire money to buy Lindsay a goat. I love it. Start by thinking about what inspired you to pick up this book. How is more money going to add value to your life? How will getting richer change who you're being in the world? Which of the gifts are you the most excited to share in exchange for money? Where do you feel you bring the most value to your fellow earthlings? How does it feel to share your biggest, badassiest self with others? I'm trying not to sneeze again. So, you know, you have to really, and I've been in different business, MLMs and everything, and that is the number one. You have to determine your why. You have to get very solid in it. And this goes even further, right? Imagining, we talk about that. What's the money going to do, right? What's it going to buy? Well, how are you going to spend it? How are you going to feel? We want to dive deeper into that. The goats you had were all rescues. Aww. If you're going to make more money, you need to get in touch with the emotions surrounding your incentive for making it. Because emotions are what drive you to action. And if you're going to make the kind of money you've never made before, you're going to have to do a whole lot of stuff you ain't never done before, which will scare and challenge and excite the crap out of you. Phew, excuse me. So you're going to want to be real fired up about getting rich and very clear about why it's so important to you. Here are the best ways to do that. Obviously not sneezing all the time. Phew. Oh, sorry. Goat yoga. That would be fun. Maybe there's something in my coffee that's making me sneeze. Someone poisoned it. They are a lot of work. Thank you, Lindsay. I don't have cinnamon in there. I don't know what it is. It's my bullshit. My bullshit meter. Bullshit. Chad, I don't do yes no's in the morning, sweetheart. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is stop sneezing. Is get real specific. The average person is barely motivated enough to scrape together what they need to make a living, with the occasional splurge on impractical yet super cute shoes thrown in here and there. Let alone saddle up to bring in the kind of money that can change their entire perspective of the world they live in. I'm going to go blow my nose real quick because this isn't going to stop. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Hopefully that stops it. Bow tie. And we're going to make mince in the Monopoly man. The Monopoly goat. Okay. Hopefully that works. Okay, so I'll just restart that section. Get real specific. The average person is barely motivated enough to scrape together what they need to make a living, with the occasional splurge on impractical yet super cute shoes thrown in here and there, let alone saddle up to bring in the kind of money that can change their perspective of the world they live in, i.e. from a frustrating place of limitations to an oyster of awesomeness. Call him Mr. Peta. Don't get me wrong. Every single person has the ability, but you need to have big burning blaze of desire roaring away beneath your fanny if you're going to take the risk, make the mental shifts, and stay the course until you reach your new sparkly financial reality. In order to inspire ourselves to make money, the exciting kind that we've never made before, we need to be excited about it. And because money on its own is a meaningless pile of paper and coins, you're going to want to get crystal clear about what the money is for, what it means to you, and how it makes you feel. This will be that fire for you. Vague aspirations lead to vague results. Specific aspirations lead to kicking ass. There are a couple reasons for this. Number one, specifics allow the universe to fulfill your order. You wouldn't go to a deli and order a sandwich by saying, "Hi, yes, I'd like a sandwich, please." You'd order the specific kind you want. Roast beef, mayo, no mustard, pickles, lettuce, tomato, on a roll, please. Actually, not that roll. Can I have the bigger roll over there? And you would hence receive the specific sandwich you ordered. And it would make you happy. The universe needs details too. It will respond. It always responds. But if you just focus on how awesome it would be to make more money and you receive $10 instead of tens of thousands, that would make a significant change in your life. Specifics create emotions, and emotions give us the no-nonsense determination to do whatever it takes to reach our goals. For example, fall into the different levels of emotional drive in the following scenarios. You're ready to get rich, and you decide to make an extra $50,000. You think about how exciting this will feel. Imagine your bank account with all those new zeros in it. Feel the power of being able to manifest that kind of cash, and picture yourself doing victory laps around your house. While all of this is great, it doesn't have the same emotional charge as something more specific, like deciding to make 50 extra thousand this year, 40 of which you will use to make the renovations on your kitchen that you've been talking about for 10 years. You've cut out pictures of awesome kitchens from various home design magazines and put them on a vision board that you look at every day. You've priced the entire project out down to the cost of your cabinet knobs. You imagine yourself joyfully cooking your ass off while surrounded by dear friends and family. You feel the space, smell the food, see yourself feeding the people you love, and you experience the satisfaction of knowing you created it because you can create anything. The other 10,000 you've decided you will give to your sister to help her launch her new dog grooming business. You love your sister, and seeing her overcome by joy that she can live her dream and that you have helped her makes you want to do cartwheels. Knowing you are the kind of person who has the means to help others gives deep meaning to your life. You want to feel so turned on by the thought of this money that you're leaping out of bed in the morning to the sound of trumpets, rather than slowly putting on your socks thinking, yeah, that would be cool. Here are some examples gathered from my readers that will hopefully help you get clear on your why. I love being rich because it makes me feel confident and powerful knowing I did what it took to stop being broke and get rich. The more money you have, the more freedom you have with your time. I want to be able to let my nanny go and hang out with my kids more. Hell, I would love to have a nanny. I can contribute thousands of dollars a year to charities that help save animals. I can spend my money on going to the movies, buying clothes I love, going out for dinner, which I love to do more than anything, instead of having to use it just for bills, necessities, etc. I can buy great gifts for people and finally take my family to Portugal. I can see myself in the best possible light. I'm being the best version of myself. I've let myself be all I want to be. Right? That's what I'm saying. We get nannies in order to then let the nannies go. I'll be an inspiration to other women like my daughters and women in struggle, specifically those who feel trapped in abusive relationships with men. I'll sleep peacefully at night knowing I'm in the black. Right now, I'm not sleeping so well due to stress. And then finally, early retirement. Whoop! The other reason to fall in love with your desires for riches is because love is your greatest weapon against your limiting subconscious beliefs. Love is all-consuming. It muscles its way in front of all other thoughts and emotions, including all the fear, doubt, and worry buried in your subconscious mind. Think about it. When you fall in love with a person, thoughts of them overpower everything else. Love is like a drug that alters your ability to participate in logical thinking, to focus on anything other than the object of your desire, or to have interesting conversations. I know there are a lot of flies in this restaurant, Bob, the guy I'm in love with, had a fly in his house once too. Same thing goes when you fall in love with the specific reasons you want to get rich. Any coping mechanisms, complements of your limiting subconscious beliefs that might try to keep you right where you are will be no match for your burning desires for greatness. Any fears and belief that you'll become a sellout or a greedy fathead like your awful Aunt Sally will be drowned out by the harps and the chirpings of bluebirds taking up space in your head and your heart. We fall in love with very specific things and people, so getting mighty clear on the details of your impending richness is critical. Alright, so the next is to align with your truest you. After the goats raped and pillaged my home, it took me several days to get it back to normal. I also wound up spending $1,000 getting the hood of my brand new, thank you very much, Audi replaced after they kicked away the plywood and tap danced all over it. Yet I couldn't get mad at them. Not only were they ridiculously cute, but they're goats. It's their nature to destroy, to hop on things, to wake up in the morning and think, what shall we fuck with today? It would be like getting mad at my dog for barking at crows, or mad at my 90-year-old Italian father for refusing to eat anything but Italian food, ever. 90 years of uninterrupted pasta. They're just being true to who they are. All living things come hardwired with certain traits and characteristics that are part of our nature, meaning that these things come naturally to us. They're what we're meant to do, and they're how universal intelligence flows through us best. Birds gotta fly. Fish gotta swim. The guy next to me at the coffee shop right now gotta eat his granola with his fingers. When we push against who we naturally are, we feel stress. Things don't progress easily. We beat ourselves up for getting crappy results. Everything is an effort. I think my kids wake up and embrace their inner goat, for real. This is why listening to what everyone else thinks you should be doing, including your scaredy cat self, is so deadly. You wind up trying to force your way through life, which can make sitting on your butt at desk all day utterly exhausting if it's not what you want to do. Meanwhile, when you listen to your heart and connect with who you're meant to become, you have energy because you're in a state of flow. Things happen more easily. Opportunities land in your lap. You're turned on, inspired, engulfed in a sea of brilliant ideas. Yes, there will be challenges and things will blow up in your face. But learning experiences are different from wasting your life pushing a boulder up a hill. Pay attention to the things you're drawn to, the things you're good at, the things you lose yourself in, the things that make you stand up and say, my foot, I can't feel my foot, because you've been sitting in the same position for hours, totally engrossed. Allow yourself to be pulled by your heart instead of pushing your way through a thick fog of shoulds. So often we discredit the things that come naturally because we've bought into the idea that success needs to be difficult, or that if something comes easily to us, it must come easily to everyone. and therefore isn't worth pursuing in any sort of way. I have a friend who toiled away for years at a job as an advertising executive that he loathed. He's an old buddy of mine who is, among other things, a brilliant performer, pant-wetting hilarious, and the main reason all my parties back in the day were so damn fun. He'd do things like wait by the front door and announce each new arrival through a bullhorn made out of a toilet paper roll. Presenting Catherine Atkinson, of the once lived next door to Jen Atkinson's. Please make her feel welcome by complimenting her on her excellent posture. He'd organize impromptu talent shows, music jams, and have willing guests to sit for him while he painted their portraits on crackers with spreadable cheese. Not surprisingly, he was constantly getting asked to help organize and host everything from bat mitzvahs to Thin Lizzy tribute nights, and while he enjoyed the work and he did it well, at the same time it was, work. He believed, however, that he couldn't charge for this type of thing. First of all, he had fun doing it, which for some reason meant he couldn't get paid. Second of all, he felt weird asking for money from his friends. Lastly, he felt that anyone could herd people around an event and crack jokes on stage. What value did he bring? He went on for years basically working 2 jobs. The one he got paid for and hated, and the one he loved that made his eyes look like 2 piss holes in a snowbank from exhaustion. Then one fateful day, he saw a professional MC at some corporate advertising event he had to go to for work. The guy was not only getting paid a lot, but he was nowhere near as hilarious, charming, or adored by the crowd as was my pal. I'm pleased to report that this guy was so profoundly bad and pissed my friend off so massively that he finally got over his attachment to can'ts, shouldn'ts, and wouldn'ts and started charging for his brilliant MC services. He also asked everyone he worked for to spread the word about his new profession, and today is in high demand as a professional MC. By having the audacity to follow his heart instead of his fears, he was able to quit his hateful job and now spends his valuable time on earth getting paid to be the life of the party. Your heart is the most powerful muscle in your body. Do what it says. Take a stand for the and. While taking this dictation from your heart and getting clear on your why, make sure you don't fall prey to the deadly either-or syndrome. Here's the deal. We live in a fear-based society that totally gets off on cautioning us, on reminding us how difficult life is, on warning us how hard it is to make money, on holding us back lest we bite off more than we can chew, or screaming, "Look out," instead of "rock on." As a result, we've bought into this idea that it's better to limit ourselves than to stretch. And we develop this fun, free, either-or take on what's available to us. You're either doing what you love or making money. You're either a good person or a rich person. You can either help the world or you can help yourself. You can either go on vacation or pay your car loan. Yawn. Instead of looking where you can cut back, save, and play it safe, look to how you can expand, grow, and start acting like a badass who's in control of your own life. Have a big, fancy career and be a great mom. Be a good Christian and make tons of money. Travel the world and run your business. Be at desired weight and eat chicken wings. Get a timeshare and save for your old age. As you take the time to imagine your life as the biggest, boldest, and most authentic expression of the you that is you, don't be a cheapskate when it comes to taking inventory of what lights up your heart. Act as if you live in an abundant universe, which you do, and have the ability to create whatever financial reality you desire, which you can. And that, by doing this, you'll be sharing the most magnificent version of yourself with the world, which you will. Open wide. I know I just spent several pages screaming about the importance of specifics, But you also must stay open to allow the universe intelligence to deliver what you need. And a thing or person or opportunity that makes your heart sing may be in a different form than the one you were thinking. Once again, you must trust the universe knows more than we do. You must trust that the universe knows more than we do. And if we white knuckle it over things like, I see myself making $12,500 by selling 3 extra cars at my dealership this month, you will block the very same riches that the universe is trying to hand you via a film company renting out your showroom to use in a movie. Your job is to envision your life with all these specifics you can muster up so you can get all emotional and excited and take inspired action. Then you hand the rest over to the universe, otherwise known as surrendering. This is a key factor in consciously managing your energy to create an awesome reality for yourself. Important note, if you're in the I don't know camp, if you're like, I have no freaking idea what my heart desires or what I want to do with my life, other than I don't want to buy my groceries at the dollar store anymore, here are some things you can do right now. Number 1, take action on what you do know. If there are bits and pieces that you are sure of that feel totally right, focus on those instead of waiting until you have got the entire picture figured out. For example, if you know that you want the freedom of working for yourself, you love drawing, you're happiest when you're around animals, you want to help people, start with these pieces and act on them. You could volunteer at a local animal shelter and see who you meet and where it leads. Or start a business making drawings of people's pets. Or assist someone who helps overcome trauma by working with horses. Once you start taking action, you'll be able to discover more things you like, more things you don't like, and a clearer picture of what you desire to do will begin to form. Taking action leads to answers. Mulling ideas around in your head forever leads to indecision and grouchiness. They're like, pay attention. There it is, the call out, right? Stop saying how clueless you are about what to do with your life. What you focus on, you create more of. And talk about how excited you are to be filling in the pieces. Make sure you're not pretending you don't know what you want to do when you actually do know, but you're scared. I don't know is different from I can't make money doing what I love. I'm too old. People will think I'm an egomaniac, fathead for wanting to be a model, etc. Roll up your sleeves, study those who've gone before you, decide you're unavailable to live your one and only life, treating your dreams like they're not as important as your fears. Demand of yourself that you figure it out and make it happen. We have, after all, figured out space travel and how to make jam out of cactus. You can figure out how to flourish during what you love. Don't waste your precious gifts in life drowning in the doubts. I don't know why my nose is running like a freaking faucet. I'm sorry, guys. Nobody else could want you to grow into your gloriousness for you. You have to be serious as a heart attack about creating an awesome life in order to crowbar yourself out of your comfort zone and make it happen. You've moved mountains before. I know you have. And it's because you really desired to be, do, and have whatever it was you desired. Maybe you asked someone on a date who was out of your league, faced your fear of speaking in public, started your own business, gotten a job where you were unqualified for, raised children, or moved across the country with nothing but $5 in your pocket, a thermos full of hot cocoa, and a dream. When your desire is strong enough, nothing will hold you back. So how badly do you want to have all the riches required to live all the life you can live? Spend some time hanging out with your heart. Get clear on your almighty why. And let your fears know that they ain't the boss of you. Alright, so here's the success story. If she can do it, so can you. Here's an awesome story from a client of mine, Anita, 32, who got real specific. trusted universal intelligence, and put more faith in her why than in her "are you freaking kidding me" and manifested $75,000. I was thinking about where I wanted to take my life next, and I assumed that what I needed to do was quit my job and start a new and exciting chapter. It had been something I'd been thinking about for a long time. But every time I focused on that goal, it just didn't feel right. Finally, I realized that in order for me to really be ready to quit my job, I needed to close out some key household debts. Our mortgage was nearly paid off, and the car loan wasn't too bad. So I determined that if I could just pay off those 2 loans, I would feel okay with quitting my job, especially being the primary wage earner in our family. The sum of these debts was about $75,000. Okay, so now I have a goal to find $75,000. How the heck am I going to find $75,000? I thought, this is crazy. What gives me the right to expect that this is even possible? I'm not going to find a pile of money lying around, and I'm also not going to be able to take on another job or sell something that would earn that amount. I started feeling sort of silly, and maybe not worthy, about my goal. I felt stuck. After about a week of whining about it, I stopped the fear crap and I started focusing on the number 75. I meditated on the number 75. I wrote 75 all over my journal. I believed that something would work out, and then nothing was happening. Geesh. I laid in bed one night and thought that there must be something I'm not seeing. There must be somewhere I haven't looked for the money. I reminded myself that all that I desire is already here, somewhere. And then I remembered that way back in 1999, I had received as a gift some stock for participating on an advisory board of a tech startup. Now that the company has gone public, I wonder what it was worth. The stock info was buried somewhere in our home office files, and miraculously, I found the file easily the next morning. I did some research to find whom to contact about these stock shares. I called the phone number of the management company to understand the value and how to sell them. I had no idea if they were worth anything, but I had to give it a try. The fund manager was extremely helpful and walked me through the process of selling the shares. I asked her what the value would be worth since it was a gift, initially valued at about $200. Are you ready for this? Yep, $75,000 on the freaking nose. I nearly dropped the phone when she told me. I'm still in shock and also extremely excited. Pardon the crudeness here, but this shit works. Don't give up on your dreams. To get rich. Today's suggested money mantra is, I love money because I love living an awesome life. Number 1, this is homework, guys. Write a fantasy day in the life. What would be a typical day in your life as the richest, happiest, and most successful version of yourself look like? We can rattle on all day about what we don't want, but being very clear about what you do want usually takes a bit more doing, especially since you're looking to radically change your life. You've never experienced or owned many of the things you're seeking, so how the hell can you know? This is why it's so important when you're writing this to come more from the feeling than from your analytical brain. Give yourself time while you write it. Do it stream of consciousness and see what comes up with. Write it in the present tense, as if the money weren't an issue. Think what would be so fun, not just reasonable. What would make you most excited to give back or leave as a legacy? Go to town. Once you've written your day in the life, write down the 5 strongest emotions you feel when you read it. Number 3, do the numbers around your day in the life. Get an idea on the page of how much this life is yours is going to cost. Boil down your day in the life, taking the most exciting details of it, combining them with the cost and the feelings they bring up so you can create a mantra. Don't worry about fitting everything in, just the most compelling parts. Then write a 5 to 10 sentence mantra, something like, I love making $300,000 a year as an interior designer. It's so exciting working with the clients who are smart and who appreciate me. Traveling the world and discovering new ways to be creative. It makes me feel happy and invigorated and like my heart could explode. I'm so grateful that this affords me the opportunity to live by the beach in San Diego with my soulmate and that we go surfing every day. Number 5, read your mantra every night before going to bed and feel it. Number 6, if you're not sure what to do, make a list of the things you do know. Be as specific as possible and write down 5 action steps you will take right now to move yourself in that direction. And then, of course, fill in the blank. I'm grateful to money because. So, that is today. I love the story today. I love the $75,000. How she manifested it. And that is those clues, right? We forget about certain things. And then we get this idea like, right? Something happened before. Or it could be you get the idea to check on your 401k or check on, anything that you may have invested money in that you forgot about. Or there was something that you overpaid and now it's in that whole estate thing. There's a list that you can check your state with. That Lost Money app or site. Those are just places to start. But there are other ways like that that you can you'll get the intuitive hits, right? You'll get the nudges. Like, oh, what about this? Something you completely forgot about. Or somebody to reach out to. You might just get this feeling to reach out to an old friend. And not with the intention to ask for money or anything like that. It might just come up in conversation. Like, yeah, I'm starting a new business. And, I'm working on gathering the capital to get it going, right? And they might ask you, well, how much do you need? And you say, and they want to be a silent partner or an investor or, you know what I mean? They might be like, oh, hey, like I just started, giving, my brain's not working right now, but supporting new businesses, right? Venture capitalist or something. And you just never know. That's why it's important for you to follow your gut. There are many different ways that you can discover how to get this money, right? It might come by an inheritance. It might come by, like I said, an old 401k that you forgot about. And, for some reason it's more than what you need to cover the taxes and all of that and the penalties to cash it out. Excuse me. So, the more specific that you can get with what you want, right? What type of life you want to live, how would your day be different? Remember, I talk about that all the time. If you want to manifest a different life, how would your day be different than what it is right now, right? Where, I wake up and I do these lives. This was something that I did imagine a couple years ago, right? And this is just a step in that path. This could lead to something else. And how do you feel, right? Knowing that everything's taken care of and you can, plan trips or you can, have impromptu trips and be like, oh, you know what would be really nice? I know it's almost Christmas time, but I wonder if we can, take a trip down south and spend Christmas on the beach this year instead, right? And I know a lot of people do this, and sometimes it's really hard to find a place, but you can manifest the perfect location too. But how would that feel knowing that you could do that? Knowing that you could be like, you know what, let's do something different this year for Christmas. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the mountains. Let's go to Tennessee. Let's spend Christmas in a cabin instead, right? How would your life be different? What would your day look like differently than what it does now? Like, imagine that. Especially if you want to start a business, if you want to start doing something different, or if you want to work a different job, right? It would look different than what it does now. So it's important to get clear, right? We don't want to get specific on how we receive this money or get to this place, right? We want to leave that open to the universe. But we can tell them, "Hey, like I need I need $5,000 right now, universe, cuz I need to pay for Christmas." All right? I'm letting you know that you can send it to me any way you want, right? But I want $5,000 so I can provide a beautiful Christmas for my family. Good morning, Tony. So what would that look like? What would that look like to have that money, right, for Christmas? You could see the presents under the tree, feel the excitement of watching your kids open up their presents, feel the excitement and the gratitude of being able to give your mother or your father or your other people that you purchase gifts for, the excitement in their face knowing you bought them the most beautiful gift, right? Don't get specific on how you get the money, but be specific about how you would use the money, right? How would that feel? What would that look like, right? Feel into that emotion. And maybe you get, inspiration to do something different, right? Or look somewhere or call somebody, right? And it doesn't have to be, oh, well, I called this person and begged them to send me $5,000 so I could pay my bills and provide Christmas for my kids, right? It's not that, right? They're not going to make you, it's not that you can't ask, right? You might get that nudge to call somebody and discuss things, and then it happens, right? But it's not going to be all about begging. It's not. It's not going to be about begging. It's going to be connecting you with the right person to make this easier. Yes. The best reaction is based on putting the feelings into what's desired. Exactly. Right? We have to know what it would feel like to get what we want. And go a little step further. Again, like what implies that I got the $5,000? Well, I see all the presents under the Christmas tree, right? I have lights in my house, right? So that means I have electricity. It's warm. My gas bill's paid, right? I'm still in my house, so my mortgage is paid, right? That implies I got all the money, right? And seeing the gifts and all of that and giving to my children, giving to my mother-in-law, my nieces, and seeing the happiness in front of them, right? In their face. And how that would make you feel, seeing them excited to get what they truly wanted. So, there's so many different ways that money can come in, but the end goal is how do you feel seeing this there, right? There's relief, there's happiness, there's joy, there's accomplishment too, like that. Holy shit, this shit works, right? Holy shit, this shit works. I like that, right? I know this shit works. I know it works. I have manifested so many different things intentionally over the past, 4 or 5 years. But I know it works. But at the same time, there are things that I still struggle with manifesting, right? But we know that this shit works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a common trip up, is getting stuck on how. We have to leave that to the universe. We have to let them discover, and we get to see it play out, right? And how we get it, because it can come in some funky ass ways. It really can. And we have to trust in that too, right? We have to trust in that it comes to us. There's so many different ways that it can happen. Yeah, exactly. Like when somebody wants to manifest a new car, right? They might You might try to figure out, well, how can I get the money? How do I get the money? How does it come to me? How do I get a loan when my credit is 600, right? They're trying to figure out, well, maybe if I, contact the credit bureau and tell them that all of these are wrong, right? These charges are wrong, or dispute them, my credit score will shoot up and I can get that loan and I can have that car. Right? That's trying to figure out a how. Instead of just driving that new car and feeling the steering wheel underneath our hands, right? The grip of it, and experiencing driving our car, knowing it's ours. Because maybe, just maybe, something happened and, somebody has a car that is exactly what you picture you needed, and maybe their grandparents can't drive anymore and that was their car and they just want to pay off the loan. And guess what? You have that much money in your savings account, right? People just want to get rid of it. They can't drive it anymore. It's taking up space in the garage. Grandma can't drive anymore. It's in pristine condition, has very low mileage, and it's $5,000 because that's what's owed on the loan and they just want to get rid of it. You never know, right? You just need to know that that car is yours. And how would your day be different? And let it come in any way. Yeah, a lot of people get tripped up with the lottery. And that's why when a lot of people come in and say, especially when I do yes, no's, will I win the lottery? What's the money for? You could, right? But what are you going to use the money for? Like, you need to go deeper into that. Good morning, April. And a lot of people struggle with that. That's where they start. A lot of people start with the lottery win, right? Or a gambling win. Like, you can get a good, big, casino win or, whatever. What would imply that you got that, right? Could be the deposit, could be seeing the ticket, could be whatever. But what's the point of the gambling win or the lottery win? Is it just so you can say, yeah, I'm a lottery winner? Like, or maybe I'm a Mega Millions lottery winner. If that's the whole reason why, you just want to be able to say, yeah, I did win the lottery. Regardless, it could happen, right? But if it's about the money, because you have to be really honest with yourself. If it's about the money, it's not going to happen. Not that way, because that's a how. Right? But if you just want to say, yeah, I'm a lottery winner, I'm a Mega Millions lottery winner, you might win, right? You might win, like, if you want to say the jackpot, though, like, maybe you win the 5 numbers for the million. You might not win the whole big thing. You might. Like, you have to let things come in however they want. And sometimes it's just easier that way, too. Right? But if you sit there and say, I just want to say I'm a lottery winner, guess what? Winning $2 off of the lottery ticket that you bought is still a lottery winner. I don't do yes, no's in the morning, Mitch. That's always on my evening stream. So, I mean, yeah, we do. A lot of people do get stuck in the house because we think we have to have it figured out, that we have to know. And it can only come in this way and only that way alone. And that's it. And that's where the trouble lies. Like, when we talk about relationships, people get stuck on the person, right? Instead of focusing on what it is that they want in the relationship. So, because that person might not be the one to come in. It might be somebody else. You absolutely can specific person manifest. I'm not saying you can't. It just takes a lot of work. Whereas if you focus on the relationship and how you want to feel and how your day is different when you know you're in a safe, healthy relationship, it could be somebody you hadn't thought of. And how you get to that relationship is different. But if you get too stuck on the person, that's getting too, that's limiting the how. It's limiting the how. It has to be this person. No, it doesn't. It does not. In fact, that person might just be the wrong person for you, but you're stuck on it because you think that that person is the lottery win. Meanwhile, that person might be the lottery sucker, right? They might be the money sucker, whereas, it could be somebody else that actually uplifts your life. But you get so stuck on the how, so you get so stuck on the person. The person is a how. It's specific, right? But it's too specific. It has to be this person. This person needs to come in. It's like saying, I need to receive $75,000 and it needs to be by the lottery win. No. Mm-mm. I need to find love and it has to be this person. No. That's a how. That's why I have difficulties asking a yes/no question in your lives. Yeah, and I get that. And that's why you can just ask questions too, like, what advice and guidance do I need in regards to this, right? And then you can take that interpretation and apply it. Because a lot of the times I don't ask the question. I ask what advice or guidance. So like if someone's like, is Jerry gonna come back? Right? I'll be like, what does so-and-so need to know about the possibility of Jerry coming back? Right? Might get the 10 of Swords. No, it's done. It's over with. They're not coming back. You don't need them. So a lot of the times I take the yes/no questions and I reform it in my head or I say it out loud to give them the advice and guidance that they need. Right? So, because a lot of people do get stuck on, are they coming back? Is it going to be this person? Instead of focusing on what it is that they truly want. It's not the person. It isn't the person. That person might have ignited something within them, right? That makes them feel good, that made them feel amazing, but it wasn't the right person. But they ignited something. There was something within the relationship that they really enjoyed. I'm not answering for yes/no's this morning, honey. Those are extremely on my, exclusively on my evening streams. My morning streams are about manifesting and we talk different books. Well, and yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, you're very intuitive. You're welcome, sweetheart. You're very intuitive, so yeah, that makes sense that you would end up having the answer already in your head. That's why when I was talking, I think it was the other day, I think I was talking about it on here, when I would reach out to my mentor when it came to manifesting. By the time I had written the email to him, I had my answer. Right? Because I knew in my head what he was going to come back with. Because it was always the same. Well, what do you want? What does that look like? So I would answer the question because I'm like, well, I know he's going to ask me this because I said this. What is it that you truly want? So I'd write it. And then, like, I would have my answer before I finished that email and I would just delete it. Right? It wasn't time wasted. I got the answer I needed and I didn't have to disturb him. Right? I had the answer within. I just needed to write it out and figure it out and work it out somehow. But yeah, that's not uncommon, especially people who are intuitive or open to finding the answer. The more open you get, the less you have to ask those questions. Now, there might be a time where you're like, you know what? I'm feeling a little insecure. I'm not feeling as confident as I would like. What can I do to feel better? Right? And I don't usually pull a whole lot of cards for myself anymore. I used to, but I don't pull for myself. Like, somebody might be like, hey, I got my cards out. I'm going to pull a card. Does anybody want one? I'd be like, yeah, sure, throw it to me. Because obviously that's being offered to me for a reason. There's something that I need to know, whether it's confirmation or affirmation or, you know, a little push in the tuchus, right? So, but I don't usually, I don't pull cards on myself as much as I used to anymore. I might to get some guidance or interpret a dream or something like that, but I don't really. And that's something you can do too, Indigo. When we're in there, you can say, hey, can I just have a card of the day? What do I need to know? And I can do that too. I'm happy to do that. They are dusty. That's alright. Dust them off. Clean them up. Pull some cards for other people. Watch how your intuition soars then. If that's something you want to do. It doesn't have to be. But yeah. So, hi Angela. I don't answer for yes no's in the morning, sweetheart. That's on my evening streams. You're welcome to come back later tonight. I should be on. Alright guys, I am going to sign off and get ready for my day. I got some stuff to do. I will post the picture of the homework in both the Facebook and Discord, and I will have this live uploaded by the end of the day. Yeah, this one is a pretty big one. It's just really getting specific. Writing a day of the life, and if you had the money that you really do desire, and then writing the 5 strongest emotions that come up with it. Run the numbers. Get an idea of how much this life of yours is going to cost, right? Maybe right now you make $50,000 a year, but your life that you really do envision is more of a $300,000 a year. Get specific on the numbers. And then boil down your day in the life, taking the most exciting details of it and combining them with the costs and the feelings that they bring, and create the mantra, right? Read the mantra every night before going to bed and feel it. And if you don't know, make lists of things you do know. Be as specific as possible and write down 5 action steps you will take right now to move yourself in that direction. It does sound like a small novel. So, all right, guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you all later. Make it a great one.